Well, hello and how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shannon Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Yeah, that's right. Home of the first state capital, that is, back in 1821 to 1826 or 23, somewhere along there. Anyway, we're here. We're live at 4:30 today because, well, hey, we're going to get it earlier and earlier because, I like to get outside and enjoy the weather this time of year. And, well, you're going to see me in some warmer looking clothes or cooler looking clothes. And you're going to catch my show earlier and earlier because, well, I like to get her in or get her done. Amen. Amen. Today is Friday, Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th. Got happy birthday, 2023, that is. Got happy birthday shout outs going out to Joanna Keeler and a belated shout out for Vicki Madden because I missed her yesterday, doggone it. So, without further ado, here is a birthday song for the two of you. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I must say. You're 1 more year old today, so a happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Joanna. Hey, Vicky. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Today. It's your happy birthday day today. Yeah, sorry about that, Vicky. I had you on the list, and then all of a sudden, away you went. I don't know how it happened, but better late than never. Amen. Amen. How about them Shin Show fans? Yeah, we got them. We got Mary Ann Williams Briscoe, a.k.a. my mommy. Diana Gray, Doug Bell, Bell, a.k.a. Steve Clary, Casey Pearson, Savann Murphy Beason, Martin Kelly, a.k.a. Smiley, Ashley Schneider, Ritchie Humarito, Lorna Wood, and Michael Blue, and Lori Moore, aka Lori Taylor, aka Thumper, and Rachel, aka Sweet Sunny Day Girl. And don't forget my Pokey pals, Amanda Sue Little and Julie Regot. Oh, and Marshall. Gary Marshall. Yeah, that's right. Got to fix something again. You know me. There's always something here or there that's messed up. Wake up, correct that. Pokey, correct that. Pokey, correct cookie, correct that. Pokey, correct that. Spell that. Cat P. Okay. Choose three. Go to sleep. Okay, not go to sleep. We're going to fix that too. Wake up. Cut that. Paste that. Select all. Paste that. Go to sleep. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, friends. You know how it is. Every now and again. Every now and again. We go through a little bit of a mishap. And if it weren't for that, you wouldn't know it was the Shin Show now, would you? Of course, it's always got a little bit of a scoop here and there. This being here and that disappearing and That being on the other side of the world. Boy, boy, boy. Hey, you know what? Today's weather forecast was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It looked like it might rain earlier today, but then all of a sudden she cleared up and she started looking good. That's right. Hey, it's 76 degrees out there right now, partly cloudy, but all I'm seeing is sunshine in my neck of the woods. That's right, sunshine. All of it. It's all out there. There's sun everywhere. There's sun everywhere. Yes, just enough to compare. There's sun, there's sun, there's sun everywhere. Weather forecast being brought to you today by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Actually, yeah, Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non-denominational Christian church which is located at 154 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. If you'd like to participate in uh, coming over to Refreshing Word Fellowship Church, we have 11 a.m. Sunday services at 11 a.m. It's quite convenient that that's when the 11 a.m. Sunday service starts, is at 11 a.m. because, well, that's probably why we call it the 11 a.m. Sunday service. And or on Wednesdays, you can catch the Bible study, which occurs at 7 p.m. for Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. You can catch it at the church at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri, or you can Zoom it. And I always drop the link down below on Wednesdays for the Zoom. All right. In the end, on Thursdays, we have an hour of power prayer from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So there you have it. Okay, weather forecast for the remainder of the day. Partly cloudy skies early will give way to cloudy skies later at night. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low temperatures near 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be south to southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Oh, you know what's going on. Well, we're looking again. We're looking again. Saturday, May the 6th, scattered thunderstorms in the morning and then mainly cloudy skies later in the day. Potential for severe thunderstorms with high wind temperatures of 81 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south to southeast at 15 to 20 miles per hour. 60% chance of rain, so you might expect a little. I'm not sure. 60%. Yeah, smelled like rain this morning, looked like rain this morning, and didn't get a drop. Partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low temperatures around 70 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Check that out. That's even 70 degrees at night. That's almost right for me. All right. Whoa, we're getting up there. Well, I'll tell you, Sunday, May the 7th, for partial cloudiness early with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. High temperatures of 91 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 40%. And then scattered thunderstorms with low temperatures of 66 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain at that point 40%. And then for Monday, May the 8th, we've got variable clouds with scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon. High temperatures of 88 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 40%. Scattered thunderstorms late at night. Low temperatures of 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west at 15 or 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. And then, Tuesday, Tuesday, May the 9th. Sunshine along with some clouds and cloudy intervals. That's what they are. 83 degrees Fahrenheit with the temperature. Winds north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies overnight. Low temperatures of 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area, Wednesday, May the 10th. Partly cloudy skies with high temperatures of 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Few passing clouds from time to time overnight. Low temperatures of 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east, directly out of the east at 10 to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. There you have it. That's your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. Got to get a sip of the sign. There we go. A sip of the cider, a nip of the nectar, a little H2O. Yep. Had to get the old throat cleared out. All right, let's see. I was going to do something else. I was going to bring up something that I was going to tell you all about. But I do have a commercial for you, an important announcement. This just in. An important announcement saying that there is a benefit event to save the headstone for Joey. For Joey. That's right. We're rolling up with Joey a bingo bash. That's right. It's a bingo bash. And it's going to be Saturday, June the 3rd, the 2023 at 4 p.m. out at Big River VFW Post 5331 in Cedar Hill, Missouri. That's right. Number 1, Lynn Lane, Cedar Hill, Missouri. So, get on out there. There was a glitch in the funding that was paid out for the headstone, and they're threatening to repossess the headstone. So please go on out for the Big Bash Bingo. That's rolling up with Joey Bingo Bash, Saturday, June the 3rd, 2023 at 4 p.m. Big River VFW host at 5331 Cedar Hill, Missouri. That's VFW Post 5331 Cedar Hill, Missouri. Number 1, Lynn Lane, Cedar Hill. All right, then. I've been wanted to bag that up a couple times before Saturday. So, hopefully y'all can get out there and help out, because, hey, that's just a horrible waste when someone so young passes, and then the finances go sour and they threaten to take back a monument that's already been placed. That's just kind of bad news. What I was going to say, what if the funeral's funding didn't go through? Did they repossess the body? I don't know, but we're more so concerned about that headstone right now. All right. Please come out and support. Okie doke. Okie dokie. All right, what's going on around town? Yeah, that's right. There are some things going on around town. Block party at the Foundry Arts Center. Hey, make your calendar to attend this free event on June the 24th. Features interactive art projects for all ages, food trucks, beer booth, live music, and heavy machinery, and steamroller printing. So check that out. That'll be in June. So that's quite a ways off, but that's okay. That's okay. Cinco de Mayo, today. We've got the Foundry Arts Center First Fridays, because, well, first Friday of each and every month, the Foundry Arts Center has an event where you can go in and listen to some music and just chill out and learn about the artists and artwork here in St. Charles, Missouri. And not only learn about the artists and their artwork, you can also get some hands-on uh, art for your kids to learn how to become artists. Main Street in Bloom, reoccurring daily until May 7th from tomorrow. So from May 7th down on Main Street, get down there and check out all the bloomage. Flowers, flowers, flowers. That's for sure, for sure. And then the St. Charles River Walk Market, which will also be on Saturday. Um, Saturday will be the Farmers Market, formerly known as the Farmers Market. It's now the St. Charles Riverwalk Market because it's not only produce and farm goods, but now they're going to have jewelry and things of that nature. So come on down to the Foundry Arts Center for the St. Charles River Walk Market. That'd be at 500 South Riverside Drive. All right, the May food truck event, May 9th. That's the one that's got me intrigued because I'll be up there munching and crunching and munching, I'm pretty sure. And then, of course, the Beale Street concert series is starting up. I don't know I'm not seeing where the Frenchtown concerts are, but there are some concerts for the Frenchtown. They're free. Frenchtown concerts. They're going to start up here shortly, too. The Beale Street concert series occurs each and every month on the what? May the 10th. So we're just going to have to check that out. Each and every month, second Wednesday. There you go. Second Wednesday of each other month, May through October. And so that's at the streets of St. Charles, 1650 Beale Street. Beale Street Concert Series. Come on out this month here and catch the Trixie Delight. You know, that'll be performing for you. Trixie Delight. What a delight to find out that 70s and 80s cover band. They're good. They're great. Come on out and see them at 7 through 8. All right. All right. An evening with the ambassadors of harmony that may cost. St. Charles Flea Market doesn't cost to get in, but you might find yourself purchasing products of beautiful, most wondrous things for the St. Charles Flea Market at 200 North 2nd Street, which will be recurring monthly on the second Saturday until December 9th in the parking garage below the great big gold building. Don't you know? And then Music on Main on this month. They do their concerts on the third Wednesday of each month. Is that right? Yeah, third Wednesday of each month, May through September, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So come on, rock on down to Super Jam, Music on Main. All righty. And then I guess I'm going to have to go to see if I can't bring up Frenchtown News to find out the other concerts because there are some stuff coming up. That's right. That would be May 17th for the or for the Music on Main. May 18th, Geek Week. Oh, yeah, Geek Way to the west. And Winsfield Days Fair and Music Festival, that is going to be coming up on May the 19th through May the 21st. So that's like your old timey, I got an itch in my ear and it's driving me nuts. That'd be like your old time carnival, with all the old carnival rides and everything. Celebrate our community during Winsfield Days. The 3-day festival includes food, drink, and craft vendors, live music, and carnival carnival rides, and more. So if you would like more information about becoming a vendor, please contact Alyssa Gretic at Winsville, Missouri.gov or 636-639-2085. All righty, then. All right. Hey, I think that's about it, folks, for the events going on. I'm gonna still try to find out that Frenchtown news, though. We'll check it out. Frenchtown news. Where are they at? Where are they at? Frenchtown, New Jersey. Frenchtown News, Missouri. Okay. Yorktown, St. Charles. All right, that's what we're going to look up. Frenchtown. We'll take a look, see. We certainly will. We'll take a look, see. We certainly will. Hey, it ain't giving me nothing. Let's get this out of the way. All right. It's just a page. It ain't giving me no. It ain't nothing. Well, we'll go back. We'll try this one. Coming soon. Frenchtown Great Streets. We'll see what that is all about. Coming soon. Frenchtown Great Streets. The Frenchtown neighborhood. Best of lists, experiences, businesses, articles, sign-ins. What else we got going on? Take time to share. Where, oh where are the concerts to be performed? Where, oh where are the things we're looking for? We're looking to do what we want to do. We got concerts coming for me and you. Don't forget the concerts. In Frenchtown, Frenchtown, Frenchtown. There, entertainment. That's us. Entertainment. 97 things to do in St. Louis in 2023. What do you want? That's not up to date. This is just getting monotonous. New archive, historical Frenchtown, St. Charles. I'm not seeing anything. We're supposed to be having our music going on down there, and I'm not seeing it. Where the concerts are. Yeah, well, where is it? Hosts of art in storefronts and walks as to visit. A must try. Be sure to visit La Belle View of Vista in Frenchtown, Mardi Gras Parade. I'm not seeing anything about the concerts. There's supposed to be some concerts going on down there. Some folks, friends of mine, told me about them, but I haven't seen them, haven't picked them out, and don't know where they are. That just blows me away. I'm sorry, I can't find it. Doggone it. I'd like to get, because Frankstown's closer to me than Main Street, so Anyway, where was I going? There was something else I was going to advertise today. Oh, Helping Hands Thrift Shop and Foster Care Closet. Helping Hands Thrift Shop and Foster Care Closet is located at 416 South 5th Street in St. Charles, Missouri. So, anytime you want, you can drop on by. Helping Hands Thrift Shop and Foster Care Closet. That's right, 416 South 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri. All right, alrighty then. Go in there and say hi to Bev and tell her you got your info from Shenandoah. That's right, Shenandoah Briscoe. all right. Let's do a song. How about a song? Anybody ready for a song? Let's do one. We're gonna do one song today, so we'll make it a good one. I got friends. We all need them. I got friends. Song lyrics: Lean on me. Song lyrics: Lean on me. There, that's better. That's it. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long. And if I have things you know, until I'm gonna need someone to lean on, lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Well, please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fail those of your needs. No one can fill those of your needs if you don't let them show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be too long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there's a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm just up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. If you need a friend, call me, call me. If you need a friend, I said call me. If you need a friend, so just call on me, brother, when you need a friend. You know, there you go. There you have it. Well, we're on the search again, folks. Yep, one more time. Well, I thought it was going to work out great between Jamie and me. I thought everything was going smooth, but then a lack of a phone call just it blew it. I'm sorry to say it blew it because I tell you, I was really liking him. I really thought it was going to work out great. He's he's a great guy, but there was just the one thing that you have to have in people is uh, trust. And well, after the lack of phone call that kind of broke off agreement, well, then some other things happened after that. So we're looking, we're looking again. Uh, got the feelers out. Anybody knows anybody? Please send them my way. I'd appreciate it. I certainly do. All right, we're gonna do some Shin Show stuff. We're gonna tell stories. That's right. We're gonna tell some stories for the kids. So hey kids, it's TV Grandpa ready to say, hey, jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed, wherever it is you rest your sleepy little head, because well, TV Grandpa is just about to lull you off to sleep with another little story of something to do about you. Amen. Amen. Ba da dee da boo ba ba da 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 ba da da dee da boo da da dee da da dee da doo ba ba da da dee da dee ba 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 da da ba da ba ba da ba. TV Grandpa won't find a story to tell you to sleep, to put you back to sleep, to wake you up from your neat sleep. Davy Grandpa gonna tell you a story, Eddie. Hopes it's a treat. Do 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 do. Bum. Trying to find him, trying to see him. I'm trying to find something in Whittle. Da 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 dee da 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 doo da 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 doo. All right, we're going to try the snow image. I don't think I've ever read this one, so it's a beautiful little story. It was written, uh, it's a childish miracle, 1851, by Hawthorne, originally intended for adults, later adapted for children. A brother and sister named Violet and Fiona created a snow girl that magically comes to life. So here we go. Without further ado, the snow image by Hawthorne. One afternoon, on a cold winter's day, when the sun shone forth with chilly brightness after a long storm, two children asked leave of their mother to run out and play in the new fallen snow. The elder child was a little girl whom, because she was of a tender and modest disposition and was thought to be very beautiful, her parents and other people who were familiar with her used to call her Violet, but her brother was known by the style and little and title of Fiona. Well, on account of their ruddiness of this bored and round little fizz, which made everybody think of sunshine and great scarlet flowers. Well, the father of these two children, a certain Mr. Lindsay, is, is important to say, was an excellent but exceedingly matter of fact sort of man, a dealer of hardware, and was sturdily accustomed to take what is called the common sense view of all matters that came under his consideration. With a heart about as tender as other people's, he had a head as hard and as impenetrable, and therefore perhaps as empty as one of the iron pots which was part of his business to sell. The mother's character, on the other hand, had strain of poetry in it, a trait of unworldly beauty, a delicate and dewy flower, as if it were, and that had survived out of her imagination or imaginative youth and skill kept itself alive amid the dusty, restless uh, realities of matrimony and motherhood. Wow. And so Violet and Fiona, uh, as I began with saying, brought their mother to let them besought their mother to let them run out and play in the new snow, for it had looked so dreary and dismal, drifting downward out of the gray sky, and it had very cheerful aspect now that the sun was shining on it. While the children dwelt in a city and had no wider play place than a little garden before the house, divided by a white fence from the street, and with a pear tree and 2 or 3 plum trees overshadowing it, and some rose bushes just in front of the parlor windows. Now the trees and shrubs, however, were now leafless, and their twigs were enveloped in the light snow, which thus made a kind of a wintry foliage, with here and there a pendant icicle or their fruits. Yes, Violet says, my little Jimmy, said their kind mother. Yes, Violet, yes, my little phony, said their mother. You may go out and play in the snow. Accordingly, the good lady bundled up her darlings in woolen jackets and wadded uh, sacks and put comforters around their necks and a pair of striped getters on each little pair of legs and worsted mittens on their hands and gave them a kiss uh, a piece, and by way of spell to keep away Jack Frost. Oh, by way of spell to keep Jack Frost from salad the 2 children with a hop, skip, and a jump, and that carried them at once into the very heart of a huge snowdrift, whence Violet emerged like a snow bunting, while little Fiona floundered out with his round face in full bloom. And then what a merry time they had! To look at them frolicking in the wintry garden, you would have thought that the dark and pitiless storm had been sent for no other purpose but to provide a new plaything for Violet and Fiona, and that they themselves had been created as the snowbirds were, to take delight only in the tempest and in the white mantle which is spread over the earth. At last they had frosted one another all over with handfuls of snow. Violet, after laughing heartily at little Fiona's figure, was struck with a new idea. You look exactly like a snow image, Fiona said she. And if your cheeks were not so red and sorry, I had to get some water. All right. And if your cheeks were not so red, and that puts me in mind of let us make an image out of the snow, an image of a little girl, and it shall be our sister, and shall run and about and play with us all winter long. Won't it be nice? Oh, yes, cried Peony, as plainly as he could speak, for he was but a little boy. That will be nice, and Mamma shall see it. Yes, answered Violet. No, Mamma shall see it and see the new little girl. But she must not make her come into the warm parlor, for you know our little snow sister will not love the warmth. And forthwith the children began this great business of making a snow image that should run about. And while their mother, well, who was sitting at the window and overheard some of their talk, couldn't help but smiling at the gravity with which they had set out. Now, to, they really seemed to imagine that there would be no difficulty whatsoever in creating a live little girl out of the snow, and in the same, and to say the truth, if miracles are ever to be wrought, it would be by putting our hands to work impressively. Such a simple and undoubting frame of mind as that in which Violet and Peony now undertook to perform one, without so much as knowing that it was a miracle. And so thought the mother, and thought likewise that the new snow just fallen from heaven would be excellent materials to make new beginnings of. Now, if it were not so very cold, she gazed at the children a more moment longer, delighted to watch their little fingers. The girl, tall for her age, graceful and agile, and so delicately colored that she looked like a cheerful thought more than a physical reality. While Peony expanded in breadth rather than height, and rolled along on his short and sturdy legs, as substantial as an elephant, though not quite so big. Then the mother resumed her work. What it was, I forgot, but she was either trimming a silken bonnet for Violet, or darning a pair of stockings for little Fiona's short legs. Again, however, and again, and yet another again, she could not help turning her head to the window to see how the children got along with their snow image. Indeed, it was an exceedingly pleasant sight, those bright little souls at their task. Moreover, it was really wonderful to observe how knowingly and skillfully they managed the matter. Violet assumed the chief director and told Peony what to do, while with her own delicate fingers she shaped out all the nice parts of the snow figure. It seemed, in fact, not so much to be made by the children as to grow up under their hands. And while they were playing and pattering about it, their mother was quite surprised at this, and the longer she looked, the more and more surprised she grew. What remarkable children mine are, thought she, smiling with a mother's pride, and smiling at herself, too, for being so proud of them. What other children could have made anything so like a little girl's figure out of snow at the first try? Well, but now I must finish Peony's new frock for her grandmother, is coming tomorrow, and I want the little fellow to look handsome. And so she took up the frock and was soon as busily at work again with her needle as the two children with their snow image. But still, as the needle traveled hither and thither through the seams of the dress, the mother made her toil light and happy by listening to their airy voices of Violet and Fiona. Well, they kept while they kept talking to one another all the time, their tongues began being quite as active as their feet and hands, except at intervals she could not distinctly hear what was said, but had merely a sweet impression that they were in a most loving mood and were enjoying themselves highly, and that the business of making the snow image went prosperously on. Now and then, however, when Violet and Fiona happened to raise their voices, the words were as audible as if they had been spoken in the very parlor where the mother sat. Oh, how delightful those words echoed in her heart, even though they meant nothing so very wise or wonderful after all. But you must know, a mother listens with her heart much more than her ears, and thus she often delighted with the trials of celestial music. And when other children or other people can hear nothing of the kind. Fiona, Fiona, cried Violet to her brother, who had gone to another part of the garden, bring me some of that fresh snow. Peony, from the very farthest corner we where we have not been trampling. I want it to shape our little sister's bosoms with. You know that part must be quite pure, just as it came out of the sky. So is here it is, Violet, answered Fiona in his bluff tone, but a very sweet tone too, as he came floundering through the half-trodden drifts. Here is the snow for her little bosom. Oh, Violet, how beautiful she begins to look. Yes, said Violet, thoughtfully and quietly, our snow sister does look very lovely. I did not quite know, Peony, that we could make such a sweet little girl as this. The mother, as she listened, thought how fit and delightful and incident it would be if fairies, or still better, an angel, if angel children were to come from paradise and play invisibly with our own children, our darlings, and to help them to make their snow image, giving it features of celestial boyhood. Violet and Fiona would not be aware of their immortal playmates. Only they would see that the image grew very beautifully while they worked at it, and would think that they themselves had done it. My little girl and boy deserve such playmates, if mortal children ever did, said the mother to herself, and she smiled again at her own motherly pride. Nevertheless, the idea seized upon her imagination, and uh, even, and ever and on, she took a glimpse out the window half dreaming that she might see the golden-haired children of paradise sporting with her own children, her own golden-haired Violet and bright-cheeked Peony. Now, for a few moments, there was a busy and interest in earnest, but indistinct hum of the two children's voices as Violet and Peony brought together with one happy consent. Violet still seemed to be guiding the guiding spirit, while Peony acted rather as a laborer, and brought her the snow from far and near. And yet the little urchin evidently had a proper understanding of the matter, too. Peony, Peony, cried Violet, for her brother was again at the other side of the garden. Bring me those light wreaths of snow that have rested on the lower branches of the pear tree. You can clamber on the snowdrift, Peony, and you can clamber on the snowdrift, Peony, and reach them easily. I must have them to make some ringlets for our snow sister's head. Now, does she not look sweetly? Said Violet, with a very satisfied tone. And now we must have some little shining bits of ice to make the brightness of her eyes. And she's not finished yet. Mamma will see how very beautiful she is, but Papa will say, tush, nonsense, come in out of the cold. Let us call Mamma to look out, said Peony, and then he shouted loudly, Mamma, 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 look out and see what a nice little girl we are making. Well, the mother put down her work for an instant and looked out the window. But so happened that the sun, for this one was one of the shortest days of the whole year, had sunken so nearly to the edge of the world that his setting shine came obliquely into the lady's eyes, so she was dazed. You must understand, and could not very distinctly observe what was in the garden. She still, however, thought all that bright and blinding dazzled of the sun and the new snow, that she beheld a small white figure in the garden that seemed to have a wonderful deal of human likeness about it. And she saw Violet and Peony indeed. She looked more at them than the image. She saw the two children still at work, Peony bringing fresh snow, and Violet applying it to the figure as scientifically as a sculptor adds clay to his model. Indistinctly as she discerned the snow child, the mother thought to herself that never before was there a snow figure so cunningly made, nor ever such a dear little girl and boy to make it. They do everything better than other children, she said very complacently. No wonder they make better snow images. She sat down again to her work and made as much haste with it as possible, because twilight would soon come, and Peony's frock was not yet finished, and grandmother was expected by railroad pretty early in the morning. Faster and faster, therefore, went her flying fingers. The children likewise kept busily at work in the garden, and still the mother listened. Whatever she could catch a word, she was amazed She was amused to observe how their little imaginations had gotten mixed up with what they were doing and carried away by it. They seemed positively to think that the snow child would run about and play with them. What a nice playmate she will be for us all winter long, said Violet. I hope Papa will not be afraid of her giving us a cold, since you love her dearly, Fiona. Oh, yes, called Peony, and I will hug her, and she shall sit down close by me and drink some of my warm milk. Oh, no, Peony answered Violet, and with grave wisdom, that will not do at all. Warm milk will not be wholesome for our little snow sister. Little snow people, like her, eat nothing but icicles. No, no, Fiona, we must not give her anything warm to drink. And there was a minute or two of silence, for Fiona, whose short legs were never weary, had gone on a pilgrimage again to the other side of the garden. All of a sudden, Violet cried out lividly and joyfully, "Look here, Fiona, come quickly. A light has been shining on her cheek for the rose-colored cloud, through the rose-colored cloud, and the color does not go away. It is not that beautiful, or is not that beautiful?" "Yes, it is beautiful," answered Fiona, pronouncing the three syllables with de- deliberate accuracy. "Oh, Violet, only look at her hair. At it is all like gold." "Oh, certainly," said Violet with tranquillity, as for it were very much a matter of course. "The color, you know, comes from the golden clouds that we see up there in the sky. She is almost finished now, but her lips must be made very red, redder than her cheeks, perhaps, Fiona. It will it will make them red if we both kiss them." According to the mother, her two smart little ones smacked, and as if both her children were kissing the snow image on the frozen mouth. But as this did not seem to make the lips quite red enough, Violet next proposed that the snow child should be invited to kiss Fiona's scarlet cheek. "Come, little snow sister, kiss me," cried Fiona. "And there she had kissed you, and there she has kissed you," added Violet. "And now her lips are very red," and she blushed a little too. "Oh, what a cold kiss!" cried Fiona. Just then there came a breeze on the pure west wind, sweeping through the garden and rattling the parlor windows. It sounded so windy cold that the mother was about to tap on the window pane with her trembling fingers to summon the two children in, when they both cried out to her with one voice. The tone was not a tone of surprise, although they were evidently a good deal excited. It appeared rather as if they were very much rejoiced at some event that had now happened, but which they had been looking for, and had reckoned upon all along. "Mamma, Mamma, we have finished our little snow sister, and she is running about the garden with us. What imaginative little beings my children are, thought the mother, putting the last few stitches into Fiona's frock. And it is strange, too, that they make me almost as much a child as they themselves are. I can hardly help believing now that the snow image has really come to life. Dear me, cried Violet, pray look out and see what a sweet playmate we have. And the mother, being thus entreated, could no longer delay to look forth from the window. The sun was now gone out of the sky, leaving, however, a rich inheritance of his brightness among those purple and golden clouds which make the sunset of winter so magnificent. But there was not the slightest gleam of drizzle or of dazzle, either on the window or on the snow, and so that the good lady could look all over the garden. So that the good lady could look all over the garden and see everything and everybody in it. And what do you think that she saw there? Violet and Fiona, of course, her two darling children. And but whom or what did she see besides? Why, if you will believe me, there was a small figure of a girl dressed all in white, with tingled cheeks and ringlets of golden hair, playing about the garden with the two children. A stranger thought she was. The children seemed to be on as familiar terms with Violet and Fiona, and they with her, as if all the three had been playmates during the whole of their little lives. The mother thought to herself that it must certainly be the daughter of one of the neighbors, and that seeing Violet and Fiona in the garden, the child had run across the street to play with them. And so this kind lady went to the door, intending to invite the little runaway into her comfortable parlor. For now that the sunshine was withdrawn, the atmosphere out of doors was already growing very cold. But after opening the house door, she stood in an instant on the threshold, hesitating whether she ought to ask the child to come in, or whether she should even speak to her. Indeed, she almost doubted whether it were a real child after all, or only a light wreath of snow fallen, a new fallen snow, blown hither and there about the garden by the intensely cold west wind. There was certainly something very singular in the aspect of the little stranger. Among all the children of the neighborhood, the lady couldn't remember no such face, with its pure white and delicate rose color and the golden rings tossed about the forehead and cheeks. And as for her dress, which was entirely of white, the fluttering in the breeze, it was such as no reasonable woman would put upon a little girl. And when sending her out to play in the depths of winter, and it must be this kind of cheerful mother shiver only to look at those small feet with nothing in the world on them except a very thin pair of light slippers. Nevertheless, Airy as she was called, the children seemed to feel not the slightest inconvenience from the cold, but they danced so lightly over the snow that the tips of her toes left hardly a print in its surface, while Violet could but just keep pace with her, and Fiona's short leg compelled him to tag behind or lag behind. And once in the course of the play, the strange child placed herself between Violet and Peony, and taking a hand of each, skipped merrily forward, and they along with her. Almost immediately, however, Phony pulled away with his little fist and began to rub it as the fingers were tingling with cold, while Violet also released herself through with less also released herself with less abruptness, gravely remarked that it was better not to take hold of hands. The white robed damsel said not a word, but danced about just as merrily as before. If Violet and Peony did not choose to play with her, she could make just as good a playtime of the brisk and cold west wind, which kept blowing her all about the garden, and took such liberties with her that they seemed to have been friends for a long time. All this while the mother stood on the threshold, wondering how a little girl could look so much like a flying snowdrift, or how a snowdrift could look so much like a little girl. And she called out to Violet and whispered to her, "Violet, my darling, what is this child's name?" asked she. "Does she live near us?" "Why, dearest mamma," answered Violet, laughing to think that her mother did not comprehend so very a plain an affair. "This is our little snow sister whom we have just been making." "Yes, dear mamma," cried Peony, running to his mother and looking up simply into her face. "This is our snow image. Is it not a nice little child?" This is At that instant a flock of snowbirds came filtering through the air, as was very natural. They avoided Violet and Peony, but, and this looked strange, they flew at once to the white-robed child, fluttered eagerly about her head, alighting on her shoulders, and seemed to claim her as an old acquaintance. She, on her part, was evidently as glad to see the little birds and old Winter's grandchildren as they were to see her, and welcomed them by holding out both her hands. Hereupon they each and all tried to alight on her two palms, and then 10 small fingers and thumbs, crowding one another off with an immense fluttering of their tiny wings. One dear little bird nestled tenderly in her bosoms. Another put his bill to her lips, and they were as joyous all the while, and seemed as much in their element as you may have seen them when sporting with a snowstorm. Well, Violet and Peony started laughing at this pretty sight, for they enjoyed the merry time which their new playmate was having with these small winged visitors, almost as much as if they themselves took part in it. Violet said to her mother, greatly perplexed. Tell me the truth, without any jest. Who is the little girl? My darling mamma, answered Violet, looked seriously into her mouth or her mother's face, and apparently surprised that she should not or should need any further explanation. I have told you truly who she is. It is our little snow image, which Fiona and I have been making. Fiona will tell you so as well as I. Yes, Mama, as verted, as asserted Fiona, with much gravity in his crimson little fez. This is little snow child. Is is not she a nice one? But Mama, her hands is oh so very cold. While Mama still hesitated what to think and what to do, the street gate was thrown open, and the father of Violet and Fiona appeared, wrapped in a pilot cloth sack with a fur cap down drawn down over his ears, and the thickest of gloves upon his hands. Mr. Lindsay was a middle-aged man, and a weary with a weary and yet happy look in his wind-flushed and frost-pinched face, as if he had been busy all the day long and was glad to get back to his quiet home. His eyes brightened at the sight of his wife and children, although he could not help uttering a word or two, surprised at finding the whole family in the open air on so bleak a day. And after sunset, too, he soon perceived the little white stranger sporting uh, to and fro in the garden like a dancing snow wreath, and the flock of snowbirds fluttering about her head. Pray, what little girl might that be? Inquired the very sensible man. Surely her mother must be crazy to let her go out in such bitter weather as it is been today, with only that flimsy white gown and those thin slippers. My dearest husband, said the wife, I know no more about the little game than you do. And so some neighbor's child, I suppose, or our Violet and Peony, she added, laughing at herself, repeating so absurdly a story, insists that she is nothing but a snow image which they have been busy about in the garden almost all this afternoon. As she said this, the mother glanced her eyes toward the spot where the children's snow image had been made. What was her surprise on perceiving that there was not the slightest trace of snow, much trace of so much labor, no image at all, no piled up heaps of snow, nothing whatever, save the prints of little footsteps around a vacant space. This was very strange, she said. What is strange, dear mother? Asked Violet. Dear father, do not you see how it is? This is our snow image which Fiona and I have made because we wanted another playmate. Did not we, Fiona? Yes, Papa, said Crimson. Fiona, this be our little snow sister. Is she not really beautiful? But she gave me such a cold kiss. Phooey, nonsense, children, cried their good, honest father. who, as we have already intimated, had an exceedingly common sensible way of looking at matters. Don't tell me of making live snow figures out of snow. Come, wife, this little stranger must not stay out in the bleak air a minute longer. We will bring her into the parlor, and you shall give her a supper of warm bread and milk, and make her as comfortable as you can. Meanwhile, I will inquire among the neighbors, or, if necessary, send the city crier about the streets to give notice of a lost child. And so, saying this, honest and very kind-hearted man was going to tell the little white damsel, with the best intentions in the world, but Violet and Fiona, each seizing their father by the hand earnestly, besought him not to make her come in. Dear father, cried Violet, putting herself before him, it is true what I have been telling you. This is our little snow sister, and she cannot live any longer than while she breathes this cold west wind. Do not make her come into the hot room. Yes, father, shouted Peony, stamping his little foot. So mightily was he in earnest. This be nothing but our little snow child. She will not love the hot fire. Nonsense, children, nonsense, nonsense, cried the father, half vexed, half laughing at what he considered their foolish obstinacy. Obstinacy. Run into the house this moment. It is too late to play any longer. Now I must take care of this little girl immediately, or she will catch her death of cold. Husband, dear husband, said the wife in a low voice, for she had been looking narrowly at the snow child and was more perplexed than ever. There is something very singular in all this. You will think me foolish, but may it not be that some invisible angel has been attracted by the simplicity and good faith with which our children set about their undertaking? May he not may he not have spent an hour of his immortality in playing with those dear little souls? And so the result is what we call a miracle. No, no, do not laugh at me. I see what a foolish thought it is. My dear wife, replied the husband, laughing heartily, you are as much a child as Violet and Peony, and in one sense to show, and in one sense, so she was. For although life she had kept, for all through her life, she had kept her heart full of childlike simplicity and faith, which was as pure and clear as crystal, and looking at all matters through the transparent medium. And she sometimes saw truths so profound that other people laughed at them as nonsense and absurdity. But now, kind Mr. Lindsay had entered the garden, breaking away from his two children, who still sent their shrill voices after him, beseeching him to let the snow child stay and enjoy herself in the cold west wind. As he approached, the snowbirds took to flight. The little white damsel also fled backwards, shaking her head as if to say, "Pray do not touch me," and rushed ruggishly as it appeared, leading him through the deepest of the snow. Once the good man stumbled and floundered down upon his face, so that gathering himself up again, with the snow sticking to his rough pilot cloth sack, he looked as white, as wintry as the snow image of the largest size. Some of the neighbors, meanwhile, seeing him from their windows, wondered what could possess poor Mr. Lindsay to be running about his garden in pursuit of a snowdrift which the west wind was driving hither and there. At length, after a vast deal of trouble, he chased the little stranger into a corner where she could not possibly escape him. His wife had been looking on, and it being nearly twilight, was wonderstruck to observe how the snow child gleamed and sparkled, and how she seemed to shed a glow all around about her. And when driven into the corner, she positively glistened like a star. It was a frosty kind of brightness, too, and like that of an icicle in the moonlight. The wife thought it strange that good Mr. Lindsay should see nothing remarkable at the snow child's appearance. "Come, you odd little thing," cried the honest man, seizing her by the hand. "I have caught you at last, and will make you comfortable in spite of yourself. We will put a nice warm pair of wash-setted stockings on your frozen little feet, and you shall have a good thick shawl to wrap yourself in, you poor white rose. I am afraid this actually frostbitten, but we will make it all better. Come along in." And so, with a most benevolent smile on his saggerish visage, and so, with a most benevolent smile on his spacious visage, all purple as it was with the cold, this very well-meaning gentleman took the snow child by the hand and led her towards the house. She followed him, droopingly and reluctantly, for the glow and the sparkle was gone out of her figure, and whereas just before she had resembled a bright frosty star gleamed evening with a crimson gleam on the cold horizon, she now looked as dull and languid as a thaw. As kind Mr. Lindsay led her up the steps of the door, Violet and Peony looked into his face, their eyes full of tears, with which froze before they could run down their cheeks, and again entreated him not to bring their snow image into the house. "Not bring her in!" exclaimed the kind-hearted man. "Why, you're crazy, my little Violet, quite crazy, my small Peony. She is so cold already that her hand has almost frozen mind in spite of my thick gloves. Would you have her freeze to death? His wife, as he came up the steps, had been talking, taking another look. Ernest, almost awestruck, and gazed at the little white stranger. She hardly knew whether it was a dream or not, but she could not help fancying that she saw the delicate print of Violet's fingers on the child's neck. If it looked just as if, while Violet was shaping out the image, that she had given it a gentle pat with her hand, and had neglected to smooth the impression quite away. After all, her husband, said the mother, recurring to her idea that the angels would be as much delighted to play with Violet and Peony as she herself was. And after all, she does look strangely like a snow image. I do believe she is made of snow. A puff of the west wind blew against the snow child, and again she sparkled like a star. Snow, repeated good Mr. Lindsay, drawing the reluctant guest over his hospitable threshold. No wonder she looks like snow. She is half frozen, poor little thing. But a good fire will put everything to rights. Without further talk, and always with the same best intentions, his highly benevolent and common sensible individual led the little white damsel, drooping, more and more out of the frosty air and into his comfortable parlor. A Hindenburg stove, filled to the brim with intensely burning anthracite, was sending a bright gleam through the inside glass of the iron door, and insulin glass of the iron door, and causing the the vase of water on its top to fume and bubble with excitement. A warm, surly smell was diffused through the room. A thermometer on the wall, furthest from the stove, stood at 80 degrees. The parlor was huge, with red curtains and covered with a red carpet, and looked just as warm as it felt. The difference betwixt the atmosphere here and the cold, wintry twilight out of doors was like stepping at once from Nova Zembla to the hottest part of India, or from the North Pole into the oven, or of this. Oh, this was a fine place for the little white stranger. Okay, we're gonna have to give it up. Well, no, let's see how much is left. No, we're gonna have to give it up from here. We will catch this tomorrow. Uh, yeah, we'll catch this tomorrow right here where we have left off. Okay. Okay. And so now we're going. That was all of that. Boy, that was a lot, wasn't it? Long story. All right, now it's about time to shut her down. The Bible with Briscoe. We're going to do the daily bread portion of the program. Daily bread portion of the program is brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2023. Bible with Briscoe 2023 is a daily reading of the Bible, which is completed, which will be completed within 1 year. Now, today's devotion in the daily bread portion of the book. Oh, I'm sorry. The daily reading today in the Bible with Briscoe 2023 will be 1 Kings 19 through 20 and Luke 23 1 through 25. Grace and change is today's devotion in the daily bread portion of the program, and today's scriptures and insights are going to be Exodus 2 11 through 15. And so, without further ado, Exodus 2 11 through 15. Moses flees to Madden. One day after Moses had grown up, he went out to worship his own people. He went out to where his own people were, and he watched them at their hard labor. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his own people. Looking this way and that, and seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. The next day he went out and saw two Hebrews fighting. He asked the one in the wrong, "Why are you hitting your fellow Hebrew?" The man said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and thought, "What I did must have become known." And when Pharaoh heard of this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in Midian, where he sat down by a well. So there you have it. That was grace and change, where he decided to run for sure, for sure. All right, hey, I am going to go ahead and bring up that advertisement one more time. Benefit event for Joey, Save the Headstone. That's right. There will be a Bring It Up with Joey bingo bash. That's right. Big bingo competition. Get together and enjoyment. Come on out Saturday, June the 3rd, 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Big River BFW Post 5331 in Cedar Hill, Missouri. That's right. 1 Lynn Lane, Cedar Hill, Missouri. So come on out for the benefit to save the headstone for Joey. Okay. Alrighty. Just wanted to make sure I got that in there one more time before we shut down the program. That'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Is that what I said? Yeah, tomorrow. No, June 3rd. So we got some time. My advertisements has got a little while to go. Good deals. So just remember that it's a benefit event to save the headstone for Joey. Alrighty. Alrighty then. That looks like the end of the Shen Show. Got one more. My neck is kind of hurting, so I'm just kind of holding my head up a little straight for you. So, anyway, um, that's it. That's the Shen Show. We're done. I got a song for you. Well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. All right. Hey, that's it. That's all. That's the Shin Show in the nutshell. We're out. God bless you. God loves you. And come back and see me again tomorrow because, well, you know, God loves you. God willing, we'll be here. And we hope that you are too. Thanks. Have a blessed night. Bye bye.